Hello and welcome back to another live. Welcome back to the YouTube channel, people. We are back again with the GVO show. Obviously, joined by Alfie as always.
Don Alfie, I got my Christmas cigar. I feel like Don Carlo right now.
This guy. But big up to Charlie as well. Let's go. What a better way to start my birthday than cooking a pigeon. Happy birthday, bro. Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday, Charlie. Happy birthday. Many happy returns to you, my man.
Yeah, two days before Christmas. So, do you know what it is? I've always thought when people have birthdays before Christmas, you usually think, oh, they get double the presents when they're younger, but you actually don't. You actually
I,
don't.
I had I had a friend who his birthday is literally 3 days after Christmas, and I said to him, like, "Do you get double the presents?" He's like, "No, my birthday presents count as my Christmas presents."
Yeah, that's what I
I
was
said
saying.
to him, "I'd be fuming."
Yeah, honestly, my nan didn't celebrate Christmas. Obviously, different religion, but her birthday was on Christmas, and I
Mm.
know people that are born around December. And are like, yeah, we only get one load of presents. That's just an excuse for the parents. So when you're younger, be like, no, we'll get you one bunch, and we'll make you feel like it's more than it is. But it's definitely not. But yeah, as Charlie said, go and show Alfie some love as well. As he's linked his channel right here. But also, I'm gonna put the link in the title, people. Shout out to Dave as always as well.
Shout out, Dave. Yeah, legend.
And we've got a lot. We've got a lot to get
Yeah,
into. We've got a lot to get into. Like,
it's been an
not only
interesting weekend.
yeah, also as well, like Boxing Day fixtures. Boxing Day
Yeah,
fixtures are are looking all right. They're looking all right. There's some good Boxing Day fixtures. So there's a lot to get into. But we'll start with you lot, Alfie. Start with you lot, especially with the game first, and we'll get into the news after. Like you're back to like proper winning ways, and
wouldn't go that
you put
far.
Palace, you put Palace to the sword. What did you make of it?
I thought we played fairly well on Saturday. I didn't expect anything less coming off the back of beating them in the cup.
Hmm.
I thought it was going to be a lot closer than it was. I even said in my match preview that I predicted a 2-1. Then we go and slap them for five. I definitely wasn't expecting that. But overall, I thought we did quite well. Um, Started worrying as soon as Saka went off because you're thinking alarm bells start ringing in your head. You start
Hmm.
thinking, oh, we haven't got that attacking threat down the right hand side. We haven't got that left footed player who can cut in. But Martinelli, they switched Martinelli and Trossard, and to be fair to him, Martinelli played well on that right hand side, and it gives us a little bit of confidence that we can sort of cope with Saka being out.
Yeah, that's the thing. Martinelli did really well when he was on the right. Um, I didn't expect that to happen. I would have thought do it the other way around, put Trossard on there or whatever because of the better weaker foot. But Martinelli would go more direct. It helped him because you can run down your head down all you want doing then if you're already on your right foot rather than
Mm.
being on your weaker foot. Because if you cut in and your head's down, you're not going to dribble properly. It's going to be easy to get tackled. So what does this mean for you in the long term? Obviously, you already think you're at the title race, but so what does this mean for you guys? Like, just get on with it, sort of thing with Ipswich and Brentford coming up.
I think so. I feel like yes, it's going to be tough with Saka out the side, and obviously we'll get onto that shortly. But I feel like when it comes to Ipswich, I feel like we should be okay on Boxing Day. Nice little Christmas cracker, and then Brentford on New Year's Day. So we're getting all that the big day fixtures. So hopefully we can get through them and push on to Man United in the cup.
Yeah. Oh, you got Man United FA Cup as well. Yeah, that's going to be
Yeah,
interesting. You'll beat them, but this is the thing with Arsenal now is because obviously from your perspective, out of the race, but it's a case of you're winning now. You're still way behind Liverpool. And they've got a game in hand against Everton. So even if they draw, it's like it's like 7 points or whatever, um, or eight. I don't remember what the points total is, but regardless, it's too hard for you guys to come back right now.
mm.
Does it make it harder for the fact that does it confirm more that you're out of the title race in this position because you guys are the ones chasing rather than you guys being on top?
The
Or would
way
you
I
rather be
see
on?
things, the way of course anyone would rather be on top in the title race. That at the end of the day, everyone would love to see their team at the top of the table competing for the big trophies. And it's much nicer when you get to a point where it's your league to lose,
Mm.
as Liverpool have got to that point. But I feel like it's going to take a miracle for us to be back in the title race. I don't think we're in it unless something drastically changes. And I'm hoping that it does change because I'd love to see us back in the title race. I get a real buzz off of that. but I just don't see it happening for us this season, man.
But what I was getting to is like, would you prefer being on top in this case in terms of you're top at Christmas, but as we usually know with Arsenal, you fall off around the end.
Mm.
But we've never seen you guys chase before. Would you have more confidence in Arsenal being on top at this stage and carrying it on to see it over the line rather than you guys chasing behind, like usually how City do with Liverpool?
See, I could say that, but at the same time, we could look back to 2 seasons ago. We were atop at Christmas and we still bottled it.
Yeah.
So it it it's dangerous either way for us. It's dangerous us being on top because we panic because we've not
Mm.
really got that much experience being in title races as far as this team are concerned. But at the same time, it's dangerous for us in terms of chasing it because then we've got to rely on the teams above us slipping up or dropping points, and
Yeah.
even then we don't capitalise.
What's the like? Do you think you should carry on then? Like, obviously, carry Gabriel Jesus starting up front. You've been critical of Jesus. You've been critical of Havertz up front, and it's been tough to like differentiate the two when it comes to like what you personally think.
Mm,
Jesus or Havertz up front. But now that Jesus is scoring goals, is it just a case of a purple patch? You should just carry it on, and then we put Havertz back in when he's on form again. Obviously, you know you want a striker. You've wanted a striker for
yeah,
time, but
yeah.
for the players that you have right now, Jesus or Havertz up front, like what are you saying right now?
Well, I
Does
mean,
it change for you?
It's the Christmas period, so obviously Jesus is going to turn up. He always does. Um, as far as Havertz is concerned, I don't even know. Yeah, yes, he scored at the weekend, but you don't really see. I was like looking at the lineup before the game. I was surprised to see him in midfield. I felt like he played okay in midfield. His link up play was semi decent. But right now, Jesus is performing really well. If he can keep this up, then I'll happily have him in the team for the rest of the season.
Yeah, fair. Like, what is it? What is it? Because like I think this is the first goal since January,
Yeah,
right? Yeah, the first goal since January. You guys need a striker. We've discussed this many weeks, many shows. This is the thing now. We'll get on to Saka now. Saka's out. Is it a
mm.
case of, as Charlie said, Havertz will play striker, Martin Kelly on the left, and Jesus on the right? Would you put Jesus on the right,
Martin
Havertz on the left?
Kelly.
Yeah, Martin Kelly on the left, Jesus on the right. Obviously, Saka is out for weeks. We'll
Mm.
bring it up shortly. Thoughts on the news, and what does that change for you going forward with these games? Like, who would your front three be now?
It definitely puts a worry in your mind as an Arsenal fan, seeing one of your best players out. I mean, look at how
Mm,
much we panicked when Erdegaard was out, but this time it's nothing to do with the international break. It's simply, I think it's just down to fatigue and
yeah.
the fact that Arteta keeps overplaying him. And we said on countless occasions, like, you overplay a player, they're going to fall off quickly. And
Oh yeah.
hopefully we don't see that. I saw after he went down, I saw how quickly they managed to get him substituted and brought Trossard on. I thought it was just a precaution taking him off that early. But then you
Mhm.
see him leave the stadium on crutches. You start thinking maybe it's a PR stunt because you know how Arsenal like to do that. But then you see that he's out for several weeks. He's going to miss the FA Cup game. He's going to miss the North London derby. And it's going to be a struggle for us. So I'm just hoping whoever we get to come in and play where Saka does play, usually, hopefully they can put in a decent performance and make up for the fact that he's out.
Shout out to views as well. Gabriel James is a funny nickname. Like, I can't lie. Gabriel James. Man took his whole Brazilian away, and it's just Martin. But they're just making them ordinary guys down the pub. Bukayo Saka is likely to be out for several weeks with an injury to his hamstring, but also I saw a report about it could be out till March.
Doesn't look good, does it?
But this is also team news and ticks. I don't know how reliable that is, but let's say, for example, he's out till March. What the hell do Arsenal do now?
Well, it's not like we can play Sterling either because he's out as well. Not that he was
Yeah,
playing anyway, but I'm looking at the way things are panning out. Obviously, if this isn't a purple patch and Gabriel Jesus continues his form, then continuing to play him in that number nine,
mm.
have Martinelli on the right, Trossard on the left. I feel like, in my personal opinion, that should be the front three going forward. Only if this isn't a purple patch for Jesus.
Yeah, do you know what? There's good points here. Yeah, like with hamstring injuries, when players get hamstring injuries and they're prone to it, when they
Yeah,
start getting them and they're not managed like properly, like precisely, they carry on getting them. He could become injury prone under Arteta because
I
he's
mean,
already been overworked now. He comes back, and then it could happen again
it,
with the
it
hamstring.
feels like it feels like that's the case with any sort of injury around that area, especially like I remember back when Gerrard was playing for Liverpool, he usually would have like problems with his groin if he was out injured. He'd have groin issues throughout the rest of his career.
Yeah,
So it can happen eh, as far as any part of the body, but I'm hoping that the Arsenal medical team and the coaching staff buck their ideas up so that when Saka does come back, he doesn't run the risk of injuring that hamstring again.
yeah. Also, with going quickly back to Jesus, because Views makes a good point here. I was thinking about this. We definitely won't get a striker now.
Mm,
That's the thing, because that's the whole PR thing that Arsenal have to do. Jesus on the patch of form. You don't need a striker. You can make it work with Jesus and Havertz. Havertz also scored against Palace. They're gonna make that into a thing of Havertz scored, Jesus scored. We've got goals in the attack, even though that's been a struggle all season. That's been why you've been drawing against Fulham and Everton and these kind of teams and a lack of
mm,
creativity. The thing is, we saw also Arsenal without Erdegaard how they dealt with it. You didn't deal with it well at all. You put Marino in the 10, you put Trossard in the 10, Havertz in the 10. Anyone but Nwaneri. Now with
mm,
Saka injured, I've seen Arteta talk about everyone else can play, like Trossard can play there, Havertz can play there, Jesus can play there, Martinelli, whoever it is, yeah. Whoever that like he said can play there. He's named about 4 or 5 players. Your right hand side is so crucial. You rely on your right hand side a lot anyway. Isn't it a bit of a worry that now either wing is a bit is a bit techie now.
yeah, it definitely is a massive worry. Like
Mm.
as you said, the right hand side of our attack is so crucial to the way that we play,
Mm-hmm.
and I wish it wasn't that way because it'd take some of the heat off of Saka. It'd be nice to have both sides of the attack being
Yeah.
critical parts. It'd be nice for the left hand side to perform the exact same way as the right. But
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, we're only hoping. So I just hope we can do the right thing and manage to get Saka back to his best when he comes back from injury, and more importantly, get a fucking striker, regardless of whether this is a good form for Havertz and Jesus. We need a striker
Yeah.
at the end of the day. Like,
Yeah. Facts. He's starting to pick up
yeah,
more injuries now, which is sad because I think this is where the games he's already played catch up with him. Yeah. And it's not even a thing of age. Do you know when you start playing first team football? It's
yeah,
funny. Age doesn't matter when you're playing first team football. Age is just a representation of what you are rather than what you are on the pitch. It's just what you are as a person. It's just in football form, it doesn't matter when you start playing first team football. Usually, this would be normal for somebody who's like 26, 27, 28, maybe. They're going up to 30. Maybe then they start picking up injuries, and then 30, they start looking a lot slower. And then maybe they change into a different position to adjust to their career. Saka's like 23, 22,
yeah,
23, 24, like
yeah,
something like that. Like, this is not normal. This is not normal. And the workload like it's bad because it kind of represents where you've been for the past few years. That he's been one of your most crucial players, and he only just came through like a few years ago, and now he's been heavily relied upon. He's become one of the faces of the club, if not the face of the club, if we're being real.
mm,
Because when you think of Arsenal, you think of Saka. Like everyone thinks of Saka now when you think of Arsenal. He's become the face of the club. He's played every game. Even when Arsenal have been 4-1 or 5-1 up, he doesn't get rest. We've been saying this since last year. We've been saying this since 2 years ago when Arsenal started battering teams. When is Saka going to come off? When is he going to rest? Even when you guys had the likes of Reece Nelson, like just to come on for like 5 minutes because you've already winning 4-0 and stuff. Like that doesn't happen. So it's kind of peaking to the way, and as you said, he has been running into the
yeah.
ground. He was bound to
Couldn't
catch
agree
up.
more.
Was it in a hamstring injury? He was with England too, something like that. Something like that. I don't
Yeah,
remember specifically, but it must have been. So it must have been
mm,
coming anyway. And it wouldn't have surprised me if he was playing with the injury anyway. It wouldn't have surprised me if he was like playing with a little bit of the injury anyway. Because do you know De Bruyne's come back? Yeah, it took long for De Bruyne to come back. He's still playing with pain. De Bruyne's still playing with an injury. That's what's mad. So some of these players just get injections and play with injuries if you're crucial to the team.
it's like when Ledley King fucked the cartilage in his knee and it was
Yep.
rubbing bone on bone. So much so he was having to have injections,
Mm,
not training. They were telling him, don't train, just turn up for the game.
yeah.
But it happens. But as we've rightly said, at 23, this shit shouldn't be happening.
Oh yeah, for sure. And do you know what's the funny thing about Ledley King? After he got his first mad injury, he probably shouldn't have played again. Because realistically, they only played him for big games. He didn't
Mm,
train, and as you said, the injections. So realistically, he shouldn't play. Because even he had a big rest in between the big games, he was still playing with the injury. So he was never ever going to recover.
mm.
So there was not really any point of playing again. He had a great career for his standard, like great career for the Tottenham standard. But like, what
Good old Charlie.
the medical team is just Julian Day from the pub, mate.
No, it's fucking Doc McStuffins or whatever his name is from Get Well Soon back on CBBS. That's who our medical team is at this point.
Bro, it's Stephen Hawking, fam. This Palace team are horrendous too. Their name gives them more credit than their form. Palace have been shocking this season. They've been shocking. He's already making Arteta's already making excuses. And the thing, do you know what's the thing? Yeah, do you know what the quote read out to me the most when they're talking about Saka and Sterling's injuries? It's like, will you do anything in January? He said, I'm just going to get the best out of what I have. That's already a sign that you're not going to do anything in January,
That
in
just
my opinion.
blatantly it blatantly shows you he's not planning to sign no one.
Yeah. Do you even have your director of football in?
Not that I know of.
There's been no.
But I heard a few reports back when Edu first left, that we were getting Mertesacker in, and I was like, for fuck's sake, not another former player. We need someone who's got a good brain, who knows what they're doing with that side of the game, but can also bring in decent players that are gonna come in and make an impact.
Mm. Look at Declan. What did he have to rest for his toe? The international break? No madness. Also, Declan Rice has never got injuries at West Ham. You got one injury. You got one injury in lockdown, and that was it. Arteta for you.
Mm.
And managers make a difference. Look at Pochettino with Chelsea. Pochettino ran most of the Chelsea players into the ground, and apart from the obvious injury-prone players like James and Lavia, they don't really get many injuries, Chelsea anymore, because the workload. Maresca manages the workload. Pochettino couldn't do that. That's the same with Arteta, in my opinion. Was that a doobie? I say, was it
No, it's a cigar. It's a cigar.
smoking cigars out here? The real light shining moment was when you played that awful club in the EFL Cup and got Saka on after you were 3-0 up. Like, what? Yeah, what was the point of that?
There was
If
no
you're winning
point.
3-0, you don't need to put him on.
We weren't even winning 3-0 because we went behind in that game.
Wasn't it in Preston though, or something like? Did you put Saka on against Preston and you were like 3-0 up or something?
I think it might have been, yeah. Either that or Bolton.
Yeah, so it's one of them. Why does he have to come on against Preston and Bolton when you're 3-0 up? Just put a youth player on or whoever, someone else. I don't even think these players needed to come off. It's going to be a real awkward conversation for a lot of Arsenal fans too. What I've been saying to City fans that they can't complain about injuries. The thing is, nobody can. If you're a team in the top three, if you're City, Arsenal, and Liverpool, you can't complain about injuries. You had a transfer window. You're going for the league. It's not like you don't have the budget for it. You can't complain about injuries, no matter the crisis. Because I get it with City that, cool, some of your defenders are off at the same time. But the problem is Pep is doing the same thing where he's rushing a defender back after a defender comes back and another one gets injured because he's afraid of having to reshuffle things again. He's had to play Mateus Nunes at left back and whatever. But it is not a coincidence that when Akanji's injured, Stones comes back and then he gets injured and someone else gets injured and they come back. It's a cycle. Ruben Diaz is now out for weeks. Ruben Diaz had to play with 30 minutes with the injury. Vicario played with a broken leg against Manchester City. These managers need to stop playing players with injuries. That's just my thing. I beg they change the narrative now. It's Saka who's gone down. Listen, they're going to now. Everyone changes the narrative when it's them. When it's their players injured. West Ham fans tried making the excuse of injuries last season of why David Moyes should stay in the job, even though around us, Newcastle, Chelsea, Manchester United, and Brighton all had injury crises, and they were all around us at the same time. So every fan base just, yeah, I'm talking about the Preston game. Yeah, it was the Preston game. Mikel panics too much after his tinkering goes too wrong, hence why the people who should be rested are called upon. That's fair. Because we've seen a lot of his tinkering shine this year. I don't know. What have you made of it? Do you think he's been coming to a point where Mikel Arteta's tinkered too much this year? That's become a big problem at the club.
I feel like with the way that things are going for Arteta now, it's almost as if he wants to stop tinkering, but he's
Mm.
tinkered so much that he can't. He can't
Mm-hmm.
stop now. He has to keep going.
Mm.
But I've said on many occasions, like if you're looking at like starting lineups, for example, if you got a starting lineup and a team that wins like 4 or 5-0, don't
Mm-hmm.
change it for the next game. Keep the same team, unless of course there are any injuries. You don't need to change a winning team.
Yeah. It's almost like he's trying to be pragmatic, even though you're going to have the ball most of the time.
Exactly.
Heck, we have the worst fan base in the league. I think we have the third worst fan base in the league. I think we're after Arsenal and Man United. I think we're third. Because Tottenham fans are probably the worst in real life. Well, Arsenal and Tottenham and Man United are the worst in real life. I think in real life we're calm. You see online, I put us third. And most of that is because of West Ham Central. Arsenal are starting to regress now. He's changed too much since the 93% season. That's the thing as well. You had one scare of like bottling the league with the possession-based football, Zinchenko at left back or whatever, and you guys got hit when you're open, and he decided to go too far the other way. Where
Mm.
now you're relying on a draw, you're trying to win corners away from home, even when it's 0-0. And the thing is, it works against teams. Don't get me wrong, but that you can't rely on that for the whole season.
No, you can't.
Being good at corners is good to have a chink in your armor, but it's not good to rely upon when you can't score open play goals. Like for example, like you scored a set play against Fulham, but you needed more than a set play to beat Fulham. You needed more than a set play to beat Everton because you couldn't score a set play against Everton. So what else do you have in your armor? You could do this against Palace because you scored open play goals and you scored set piece goals. So fair enough, we can't judge them for that. Against Man United, we've seen Man United are poor at defending set pieces, and Arsenal are the best at attacking set pieces. So you're kind of seeing it, go head to head. They need a proper creator from open play. I don't really think Odegaard is a creative player. The thing is with Odegaard, for me, here's my problem. I've always, when I watch Arsenal, number 10s float. They float. Odegaard's only on the right hand side. I know he's told to do that, but my thing is, our actual manager would tell a number 10 to float everywhere. So both sides can have the balance of creativity. The problem with Arsenal is you either need to let Odegaard to float or you play with two creators in the midfield. You play with Wanyeri and Odegaard, or you play with someone who's actually going to distribute the ball forward on the left-hand side. Number 10's float. Odegaard is profile-wise, I guess, a number 10, but when this guy drops too deep, he's not good at that. Like against Palace, I didn't think he was that good, like because he just dropped too deep. I think you just need him in the final third. But even then, you kind of know what he's going to do. I think to play against Odegaard, you need to get someone to follow him. Just follow him and keep tight. Because if you give the guy space, you see what he's
He's just
like.
going to exploit.
Yeah. But I don't think Odegaard is the creative guy, like the creator you go to for a title winning side. But what I will say is he's restricted to just the right hand side. Because he is a natural 10. But Arteta just tells him to stay on the right, which is why Odegaard and Saka work so well together. But apart from, I think it was a goal against Porto or something from the Champions League where Odegaard shifted it to the left hand side and someone ran it back. I think it was Trossard that scored.
Yeah, it was Trossard, yeah.
Yeah, the game at the Emirates. Like we don't see Odegaard in those positions enough. We see Odegaard a lot on the right. The only time Odegaard is in those positions, he's dribbling from the right. He's trying to find an opening because everyone's blocked that angle. So you're trying to go around these players.
Mm.
That's my thing. I don't know what you think though.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I think you hit the nail on the head. I mean, number 10's float, and he is, as far as like designations go, he is our
Mm.
number 10. But he's
Mm-hmm.
very restricted to that right hand side. I
Yeah.
feel if you allow him to have the space and allow him to play with freedom, I feel like you'll get a lot more out of Odegaard than just looking for a creative opening from that right hand side.
To be fair, I don't think Arteta allows his players to create. You'll see KDB take risks with passes all the time. Sometimes it pays off and sometimes it doesn't. Mikel would have an aneurysm. That's the thing as well. Pep doesn't give players creative freedom, but he gives De Bruyne freedom. He gives De Bruyne freedom to do what the hell he wants because he knows he's got the most dangerous pass in the league when it comes to final third play. Arteta doesn't do that. Even when he played possession-based football, it was very methodical in a way where it's like, Xhaka, you do this. Odegaard, you do this. These are the two. These are where you need to be. Don't go anywhere else but the positions I tell you to, sort of thing. Which Pep does as well, but he doesn't. But different, as I said, with Pep, he gives at least one person creativity, and the freedom to create the whole team. Arteta doesn't do that with anyone. There's no one. He doesn't even have like one of them players that's going to grab it by the scruff of the neck, apart from maybe Saka in a big game or Saka in the last minute. But even with Saka, he's not that type of player anyway. He's doing it because he's like, I've got to step up sort of thing, not in terms of I am him sort of thing, in terms of like, I am Kevin De Bruyne, I'm just going to give me the ball and I'm going to smack it or something like that. Or even when Declan Rice was at West Ham, I'm going to drive with the ball from the defense to the attack so we can just get play done quickly when we're chasing the game.
Oh, that
No
goal
one does
against
that,
Genk,
Arsenal.
man. That goal
That
against
goal
Genk.
against Genk. Like,
that was incredible.
Bro, I nearly had fucking asthma just reacting to that goal, bro. I couldn't believe what I was watching. I thought I was watching a reincarnation of Yaya Toure.
Yeah, it was like watching Yaya Toure's goal against Villa that season they won the league when they fought Liverpool.
Bro, the way I reacted, I just like, I think the seats were like a little bit empty up where I was sitting, and I think I just laid on a bunch of seats, just like, what the fuck have I just watched? And people were generally asking if I was okay, because I was just like, what the actual hell am I just watching the ground? Like, also, yeah, joy is, I don't even think it's not even just that as well. He has changed Rice's game, but also Rice knew he was the big fish in a small pond at West Ham in terms of the fact that he's become this player where he's the face of the club. So I'm going to try and grab the game by the scruff of the neck. When Arsenal need a goal, you've never seen Rice do it once where he's driving with the ball to try and create something. It's almost, Arteta's nearly like pretty much worse than Moyes in terms of the fact that he doesn't give anyone that freedom to create, because even Moyes doesn't. But Moyes would, if Rice was to drive with the ball, Moyes wouldn't be like, "Oh, don't do that again, don't do that again." Arteta would be like, for the way we need to play, don't do that again, because that's not what I told you to do. Like, because also Arteta's at Arsenal as well, so he feels like he can say that. Moyes is at West Ham. Once a player is like outshining his level, he probably feel like, I can't really tell him too much, sort of thing. It becomes a hierarchy sort of thing. All I hear is Arsenal fans saying you can't drive upfield, you can't make a pass, etc. Rice used to hit diagonals all the time. Rice actually used to pass in between the lines when he had a number 10.
Yeah.
But he's not a passing in between the lines kind of player. Don't get me wrong. That people are right when they say that. But when Paquetá was at West Ham, for example, when we played with an out-and-out number 10, and we tried to play a little bit of possession-based football, he wasn't good at it with Moyes in charge. But when Rice would find Paquetá because he knew he's a key player, he's going to create. Arsenal don't do that. Arsenal don't play with a number 10 anyway. Rice isn't that kind of player. But also, Arteta is so like instruction heavy. You're never going to see that Declan Rice at Arsenal. Never. But this is what Arsenal are now with Arteta in charge. He said he's going to get the best out of what he has.
I even said, like, back when Declan was coming into his own at West Ham and really making a name for himself, I said to a couple of people that I was watching a few West Ham games with, I've said I see a lot of Gerrard in this guy's play, in the way he plays, the way he can just hit a diagonal pass, the way he'll push through the field, look for an opening, or even just hit one. I want to see that at Arsenal, but we haven't been able to see it because, like you said, Arteta's so instruction driven that he's not going to allow them to play with freedom. I wish Arteta would just turn around to the players before the game and just say, fair enough, I'm going to give you instructions, but do whatever you need to do to get the win. If that means you hitting it from 30 yards, hit it from 30 yards. Like, do what you need to do. Take risks. That's what football's about, taking risks.
Yeah. Yeah, he can strike a ball, as Charlie said. He can strike a ball. Like, even the shots that he would hit that are wayward, you can see the technique he's trying. Like, I can see it. I always thought, I'm not saying Rice is an 8-8, because I used to say he was, but I don't think he's an 8. I think he's a 6 and a double pivot. But I think he can be developed into more of a player of driving with the ball and letting shots on goal from the left centre mid role. That's what he needs to be, because he's not an out-and-out number 6 in terms of deep line playmaker. Because that's how Arsenal want their 6s, Jorginho and Partey's. The passing in between the lines. That's when you guys look best in possession. But I said this for millions of times. Arsenal don't know how to use Declan Rice. They don't. You use him in a 6 and a double pivot, and then give him the ability to drive now and then, and then shoot. That is Declan Rice at its best. That's what he was great for at West Ham. And then when you get hit on a counter, who's there to sweep it up? Declan Rice. You're not getting past him in a counter attack. You're not. But even for like at Arsenal, you get at him a lot more. Even we played against you last year with Kudus. I mean, he sent him packing. But the game we beat you, like at West Ham, that wouldn't happen. Like
No.
I already saw Saint Maximin once, and maybe Amanda Broja outstrengthened him once. That was it. Never used to get done up on a counter. That's how you use Declan Rice. Left centre mid, drive with the ball and shoot. But in a double pivot. In a 4-3-3, good luck. Good luck. That man is not a 4-3-3 player. Like, if City would have got Rice instead of Arsenal, City would have done another treble and they would have been in a situation now. Rice would be playing that John Stones role. Rice would be playing that John Stones role. They would have Rodri and Rice in midfield. Rice would be driving with it and arriving in the box. Because John Stones used to do that from centre-back to midfield. And then Rodri there, like, playmaking. Rice would be in defence at times and in midfield. Because, yeah, he was a natural defender, but he wouldn't even really be a out-and-out defender at Man City. He'd be a defender and a midfield at the same time. It's lucky for the league, I guess, that Rice didn't go to City in the case of competition or whatever. Not that I care about that, because my team's not there. So why the fuck would I care? I want some Rice to go to City, but City didn't pay the money. This is the thing. Good luck countering Rice and Rodri. Long day for attackers, exactly. Physicality as well. If you get past one, you're not getting past the other.
If you look at it from like a financial perspective, though, I don't think that Man City would have wanted to spend another £100 million on a player because they'd already done that. Yeah, they'd already done that with Grealish, but look how Grealish has turned out. Like it's almost as if the £100 million price tag has got to him. Not only that, he's being played out of position. He's not a left-sided player. We said this before, but it is what it is, man.
Well, speaking of that, might as well move on to Man City.
Yeah,
they lost to Villa. I think it was kind of predictable they were going to lose to Villa, in my opinion. I watched it in the pub. I was
buzzing.
I was drunk.
I was buzzing. John Duran got me more points on my fantasy team. Love it.
Yeah. Well, I just transferred him in, so you better not let me down. But I was drunk. I watched it in the pub. I'm a lightweight now when it comes to alcohol. I'm pissed off because I don't drink alcohol that much anymore. But I watched the game, and yeah, it was just another City poor performance, man. Like Tielemans and Morgan Rogers. What a performance! Those performances, yeah. Morgan Rogers, I've been saying since he joined Aston Villa, this guy is going to be something like he's going to be a proper player. And Unai Emery has managed so well.
He just split that Man City defense.
Like legit.
It was brilliant. Like watching him go forward and attack. It was almost like Moses.
What, Victor?
No, as in Moses parting the sea. Yeah.
This is a good point, actually. You know, this is mad. Haaland went cheaper than Havertz.
Hell, man.
No, why does no one talk about this? Nobody ever talks about Haaland's price tag. I know it's not going great right now, but fucking hell. What the actual fuck? Like,
that just pisses me off even more, knowing that
Haaland was cheaper than Havertz.
We spent more on Havertz than Man City spent on Haaland. It's just makes you contemplate life,
bro. That's crazy. But the first goal for Villa, yeah, one pass. When do we ever watch Man City and think one pass will take them out when they're pressing? City are good at pressing. City are good at suffocating. What happened to them? Lack of energy. Maybe the games has got to the whole squad. Do they look burnt out? Like that's the only way I can explain it. Why has City become so? Do you know what it is? I think part of it, Haaland. Yeah, I like Haaland. I think Haaland's a great player. Obviously, Haaland doesn't press as aggressively as like the attackers they used to have. Because
like Aguero used to press. Dzeko used to press.
Yeah, even like Jesus, even Sterling, even fucking Zinchenko pressed up front at times. Like
even Mahrez fucking Iheanacho pressed.
Even fucking Mahrez pressed. Mahrez is meant to be this lazy baller or whatever. Like they don't press aggressively. Like they used to get around that with the previous two seasons they had. like press around Haaland, but this is bad. This is bad. Like they look like you can like usually it didn't matter when City played the high line because they press and then Rodri will sweep it up. You ain't got Rodri anymore. You ain't got a single number six. You got Kovacic who isn't mobile. Gundogan who's been shocking since he's come back. Bernardo Silva's been shocking. Mateus Nunes isn't good enough. Grealish has been shocking and not played in the right position. But also, when he's played in the middle once and twice, he's played well. When he plays on the wing, he's not good. Matty Cash rattled him.
Foden's been half the player he was.
Foden he hasn't even been half. He's been fucking dog shit. Like,
yeah,
I think Foden's a great player, but as I said this before, when De Bruyne's not there, I look at Foden, Bernardo Silva, I look at everyone in the middle, Gundogan, whoever it is. You got to create for Haaland now. A lot of people are criticizing Haaland. You need to give the fucking ball to him. The whole point of why you signed Haaland was to give the ball to him. If you're not giving the ball to him, it's not going to work. So we praise you for giving the ball to Haaland in the first place. When you're not, we criticize you.
People get on Haaland's back for not getting the goals, but at the end of the day, if you're not putting the ball in the right positions for him to get the goals, what more can he do?
Exactly.
I mean, yes, he can press more, and probably should press more despite his size. I feel like him pressing more would be an advantage because of his size. But at the end of the day, if you're not putting the ball in the right areas for him to get either his foot or his head on it, what more can he do?
Yeah.
It's not like he's got the ability of telekinesis. He can't just have a thought in his head and all of a sudden the ball is in the back of the net. No, he's got to have the ball to feet. You need to give him the opportunity to put the ball in the back of the net. Otherwise, it's a non-starter.
Facts. Big up, lads. We'll see sack Pep if this form continues into next season, though. The reason why I don't think so is because, when we talk about managers and there's always a portion of every fan base that's like, but who are you going to get that's going to do a better job? And then we always list names and then they can't say anything. This is the only time where you can say the phrase, but who could do a better job? Because it's Pep Guardiola.
Yeah.
I think there's no reason to sack him. Like, this is an odd season. This is just an off season. Like, I'm sure they'll rebuild in the summer. If they don't, then this is going to continue because they're at this stage in terms of points, they're in the top 4 race. They're below Nottingham Forest, for fuck's sake.
What? So I don't think they would have sacked him anyway. But since he's been here, he's had 6 Premier Leagues. He's had maybe 2 FA Cups. I might be wrong. 3 or 4 Carabao Cups and a Champions League. What reason beyond the trophies he's won have they got to sack him? Like, don't get me wrong, he's having a shit season as far as he's concerned, and they need to wake up quick, otherwise they won't end up in the top 4 of this season. But that's no reason to sack him. He's brought Man City fans a lot of joy, and I feel like if they was to sack Pep Guardiola simply because he was having a bad season, the club would be on the verge of mutiny.
Oh yeah, like we wouldn't see the Man City of now, like in terms of like the dominant team we've seen over the years. Again, if they sack Pep,
we'd see the Man City that lost 8-0 at Middlesbrough before the money came in.
Yeah, I don't think they have the legs to press. Gundo, Kovacic, and Bernardo, limited legs. They all need to leave as well. Like, and this is a big reason for that when we're talking about the press. Like, they need to leave.
Gundogan must be sat there thinking, "Why the fuck did I come back?"
Yeah, he should learn Chinese.
It's tainted his legacy. It's tainted his legacy.
Kyle Walker as well. Oh my god, that cameo when he came on.
God, listen, for Kyle Walker, Saudi or America's calling, man.
This is my thing. Like, ever since you left your family, you left your footballing ability, bruv. Like this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, bruv. That it's no coincidence. There's a correlation in that. There's a correlation. They'll go on a run now, mate. Got some easy fixtures with the January window coming up. They should with the fixtures they got coming up. I think they'll struggle with Everton because everyone does. But I think when they come up against us, we'll probably be the start of their run because we're shit. But they should go on a run eventually because that's what they're capable of. But they need players in January. I don't know how many players.
The question is, will they?
What?
Like we said, they should go on a run because it's what City do. They click into gear at January, and by the time we get to May, they've won the league. But will they go on the run, or will this run of bad form continue to plague them?
I don't put it this way. I think they'll go on a run, but I don't think it'll be the typical Man City run we know of. I don't think it'll be like because Man City are capable of winning like 20 games in a row. Then we'll never see that this season.
Are we
But
looking at like nicking results and stuff like that instead of just dominating games?
I'm talking like I still think they'll go like 5 or 6 games run and then lose 5, 6 game run or whatever. I think that's what they'll do. But they need a midfielder, and for me, I know like their attack is shocking, but get another fucking defender in January because every time I look at Man City and their players they've got like available, it's always a defender that's injured. I know they've got a lot of defenders, but Rico Lewis hasn't been good. Kyle Walker's been terrible. Stones is barely fit. Akanji has not been good this season. Ake is barely fit, and he's probably the most important. Cavadio's only good at left back. Ruben Diaz is their best defender, and he's like in terms of out and out defender, and he's going to be injured for weeks. Get a defender and get a number 6 in. I know Fabrizio Romano said that they're going to find a number 6 that is going to play like second fiddle to Rodri, but step up for now. They're not going to recall Calvin Phillips. I think the only reason to recall Calvin Phillips will be Ipswich terminating the loan because he's been on the bench recently. So we'll look at that.
There's a couple of good defensive options out there as well. I mean, off the top of my head, I can think of Mohamed Simakan from Leipzig and Ousmane Diomande from Sporting.
Yeah,
those are the two. I mean, I don't know about you in terms of Football Manager, but when I play on career mode, I usually go for them two in defence because they do quite well for me.
Man's going off his FIFA scouting, Man's scouting from FIFA.
I'm hoping there's a situation where I sign a player in career mode for one of my teams, and then that player signs for the club in real life, and I feel like Fabrizio Romano.
That Diomande guy in Football Manager, whoa, oh my god! I play him inverted wingback.
Really?
Yeah, I play him inverted wingback because do you know what? I'm going for the tiny little tangent with Football Manager. Yeah? I play attacking football. I play 2 inverted fullbacks and 2 advanced number 8s. So I when I get hit on a counter and when teams want to cross the ball, the reason why I buy like centre backs and convert them into like fullbacks, like kind of like Pep and Arteta do, is because like I don't want to get dunked on the back post. Every time I sign like a wing back or a fullback, for example, that's natural fullback, but they're usually small and I get dunked on the back post all the time. That's why I buy centre backs. I just headed the ball out and then I hit the teams at the counter. And Diomande does that for me. But I think Foden is struggling without Rodri. Foden's strength is receiving the ball quick on a half turn, being a man and getting a shot off. He's receiving the ball late from midfield. The thing is, I think it's part of that obviously does come into play. But my thing is, when he does have the ball, he's not doing enough. Like when he has the ball in the final third, when he has the ball in these final stages, he's still not doing enough for me. I hear what you're saying, but not all of it is on Rodri, Kill his entire ability to do what he's good at. Also, he's not a creator. The thing is, if he's not a creator, he's got to do better at shots on goal. Then we've got to see more of his goal scorer. If he's not going to contribute with assists, you've got to contribute with goals. Not everything's GA, but when it comes to Man City, you kind of got to contribute somewhat when it comes to G&A. You've got to be a good second striker arrival in the box. You've got to create. You've got to create somewhere if you're playing in the middle in those advanced. If there's one manager that's earned the right to have a season to forget, it's Pep. It's true. I mean, how many opportunities they got offer replace under the microscope and the press and FFP? Also, who can they buy? What they hype player values, etc. They're fine with FFP because they don't spend money. They never really spend money over the years. So I hear you, but I think they should be fine. I bet I can run faster than I haven't broken. I think this is a 3-year rebuild. I think this is a 6 months thing. I think if they sign enough players in the summer, under Pep, it'll be fine. But they need to also sell the right players as well. Everton, Leicester, West Ham, Salford, Brentford, Ipswich, their next games. If they need to win every game, they should. They'll probably draw with Everton and then win all the other matches, in my opinion.
I see a cup upset on the cards.
Salford, bruv.
It's the FA Cup, man. The magic of the FA Cup.
I ain't ever seen Pep lose to a League One side. I ain't even ever seen Pep lose to a League One side.
Like, it happens, though. Like, big teams lose to small teams. Like, it's the magic of the FA Cup.
I don't think
all the smaller teams are up for it. I mean, look at how buzzing Tamworth were when they found out they were going to be getting Spurs at home.
But it's Spurs, bruv. It's Spurs.
Yeah, but still, it's a For a team like that and a team that small, it's a scalp, and it gives you confidence going into your league season. If you can turn over one of the big teams in the cup, it changes your season.
If Man City lose to Salford, delete club.
Because you lost to the Man United B team.
Yeah, you lost to Gary Neville, fam. But this is the thing. I could generally put a team together tomorrow, and I'll beat Tottenham at this rate. We'll come on to Tottenham.
Would we both be in that team?
Oh, probably. I reckon. I think on current form, I'm better than Basuma right now. City's ITKs are saying they're looking for another right back, 2 midfielders, and a backup striker. That makes a lot of sense because Kyle Walker's too busy shagging prostitutes.
They had a backup striker though, but they fucked him off to Atletico. So why are they looking for a backup striker now when they had one at their disposal?
They thought they could get away with it, but they can't. Big up Everton. Big up to Mellon. Big up Everton. Are a very tough team defensively this season. Everton away top 3 worst places on the planet. Yeah, just play. You didn't even say ground. Man said places. Fair enough. Caicedo can go for 350. Yeah. Mellon looks like a white Christmas. I don't know what man said. David Coote. I said it's snowing. I said, oh my days with the snow bunny on the side. All right, Dave.
Playing in the snow, yeah.
Someone's horny, bruv. If Foden is only good when mind controlled, I'm convinced. Maybe. If Salford win, that would be generational.
The thing is, back when the season first started, we spoke about how poor Foden was in terms of an England standpoint, and I said to you, his performance at the Euros clearly shows he can only work under Pep. I can't even say that anymore because he's working under Pep and it still ain't doing anything.
That's what they say a lot about it. That's what they say about all the City players when they go on international duty. Like, think about De Bruyne doesn't really turn up for Belgium like that. Ruben Diaz and Bernardo Silva definitely doesn't turn up for Portugal. He never has. Only Akanji played well in the Euros that was a Man City player.
Haaland doesn't even on international duty. Haaland doesn't even need to get out of third gear because he's playing against postmen.
They don't even qualify.
Shocking, really. If you look at the players who Norway have got in their team, it's crazy.
There you go. Plus the 50-50 money allocation between the big small sides. Bruv, you see what, like, do you what's even worse here? It's even worse when it's like a team that's like meant to win at home in the FA Cup. And you just got that big away. I remember Middlesbrough Man United when Middlesbrough won on pens, bruv. Like, that was mental. That Middlesbrough away end, they became the stadium. You just heard the Middlesbrough fans for like the last 40 minutes. You're rattled at that point.
I remember there was one FA Cup tie, I think it was back in 14-15. I can't remember the non-league team that was playing or the EFL team that were playing, but the penalty shootout in that was crazy. Like they did every single player took a penalty. They started again and they got about halfway through again before the penalty shootout was won.
I can't remember. Yeah, I know what shootout you're talking about. I can't remember what it was.
I think it was like 14-15 on penalties.
I love them kind of penalty shootouts, man. Just like, when is someone gonna miss, that sort of thing?
It's like when, do you remember like back when Liverpool beat Chelsea in the cup final a couple of years ago, when every player took a penalty and Kepa blazed it.
Yeah, bruv. That was also crazy. Typical Kepa though. Foden is in bad form, still better player than Palmer. Like, in terms of natural ability, is I would say he's better than Saka, but like in terms of like that's to ball to feet though. That's technical ability. Saka's not a technical player.
No. I'll give you that.
Like, Palmer and Foden are natural. There's a reason why they came through City's academy, working under the Barca regime, sort of thing. Saka's a very good, decent, technically sound, effective player. Saka's one of them players, yeah. He probably played every position.
Dave, what makes you think I'd be the keeper? What makes you think I'd be the keeper? I'm a box-to-box midfielder, mate.
You got the engine, yeah? You got the engine.
I don't ask me how, because I even don't know. I smoke, yeah, but I can still like go for like 90 minutes.
You're like Suchek.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm not a goalkeeper, but I'm like, we're Chesney. Because he smokes as well.
Man said, fuck off, are you a box to box?
I am a box-to-box, man. What are you talking about?
Like, Foden played in the derby. That was
What?
probably his best game.
If you watch me during a game, if you need me to run, I'm off. I'm gone. I'm running like I'm being chased by feds, bro.
Running like the shade in the last season of Top Boy, bro.
Facts.
Foden had played in the derby. That was probably his best game, to be honest. And he was still shit in the second half. England is Southgate tax. Partly, yeah, obviously, but also Kyle Walker was still shit then, and he's still shit now. Bellingham was shit. Saka was good for some games, but even at times he was bad. In the final, he was bad. Only Palmer, Watkins, Gay, Saka, and Konza can really give anything to, and Stones. Everyone else, like Trippier, was shit. Mainly was shit.
Bellingham was like
Rice was shit.
Bellingham was pretty poor that tournament. He thrived off of moments.
Yeah.
Kane was missing.
Kane, so missing.
We didn't get Harry Kane. We got his lookalike that went on the Lorraine show a few years ago.
Oh my days, yeah. We just got a guy with a lisp up front. That's all we got.
Exactly.
Chelsea Bradford as well. That's an iconic.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That was hilarious.
Saka's more technical. Not natural ability. I just think like with ball to feet, there's a lot of things that Saka can't do. Like Saka just doesn't have as many chinks in his armor when it comes to just pure ball to feet.
I feel like and in a way, I feel like you can blame the way Arteta likes to set up his teams with the way that Saka plays. Saka doesn't really look to move through defenders. He doesn't look for space. His main source of attack is cutting inside, either whipping a ball in or putting the ball in the bottom corner. I feel like if Arteta gave Saka more freedom, you'd probably see a lot more from him that you would look to see from Foden. But
I just don't like for me. But if, for example, like I know Saka's not a 10 anyway, but like the way Foden and Palmer, for example, can like receive the ball in midfield, pause, and then like dribble past players, like tight on like 4 players, for example, and then they can make something out of nothing. I don't feel like Saka's that kind of guy, but I feel like Saka's better there 1v1 than obviously what you said about Arteta's system. I feel like he could do more 1v1 than Arteta's like letting him to do. I'm not saying he's like fucking like prime Balassi or whatever, but like you know what I mean? Like he could do a lot more. Like he can nutmeg players. He can like
he can do more than he shows.
But I just don't think like ball to feet, for example. I feel like Foden and Palmer can do a lot more if they were all given the freedom.
Yeah,
like Palmer's given probably the most freedom. But let's say all 3 of them are given the most freedom. Then I think you see a lot more from Palmer and Foden than you do from Saka. But I still feel like you still see a lot from Saka. It's more a testament to how good the other 2 are naturally. Obviously, in terms of performances this season, Palmer and Saka have been clear of Foden. It's not a conversation. It's not a conversation. Fuck on, yeah. Wayne Shaw regen is what you got called.
Fuck you, Dave. About Wayne Shaw regen. I'm not sat there eating pies on the bench, bro. I'm taking the game by the scruff of the neck. I'm laying it off from 30 yards. I'm shouting Gerrard, bro. That's what I'm doing.
Wayne Shaw regen is crazy. Was that the guy who ate the sausage roll?
It was the guy from Sutton United who ate the pie during our FA Cup game and got sacked for it because apparently he tried doing some like illegal gambling.
The thing is,
the worst part was he basically lived at Sutton Stadium.
It was convenient for him.
Bro got chucked out the club and his home.
You rather look like you're going backwards.
Fuck's sake, man.
I'm a prolific winger. Top bins equals post-match pipe. Equals the fucking.
Honestly, Mike, me, you, and Melon in a team would be dangerous.
Bro, do you know what it is, yeah? 1v1 defender. I'm decent, man. I'm decent. If you put me in midfield, I've got an engine. But 1v1 defender, come on, I can rattle the winger.
I can do it all. I can drop a shoulder. I can pick out a pass from 30 yards. I can hit top bins. Just say the word and I'm doing it. Pause.
I'll be real. I've got barely any technical ability. I'll be real. I've got a good strike on me. I've got decent pace. But you see 1v1 defending, I'm decent like in a press, and then I'll keep it moving. I ain't taking too many touches to the ball. You don't need me to do that. But 1v1 defending, like, yeah. Man said, I'll smoke you, Mikes. We're gonna have to prove it, I guess. We're gonna have to prove it. Kane was doing up deep line playmaker rather than deep line forward pause. Like, legit. This guy was at right wing back at times in the Euros.
Facts.
Saka's a very good pace and power player. Slightly worse version of Bowen. Do you know what it is? Pace and power is. I don't even see him as power. To be honest, I don't even see him as like rapid or either. To be honest, I see him as a technically sound player that is witty 1v1. I don't even think pace and power. Pace and power is like, I don't want to say a Dharma Traore because that's like because he is pace and power, but he's awful. Like a good pace and power winger nowadays, there ain't any. But
I'm trying to think off
pace
the
and
top
power.
of my head, like who's got pace?
Who's got
On
pace
the
and power that's
wall.
good? That's
Yeah.
like a good player. There ain't any. Like
No.
they're all shit.
Like we're having to go back to like
Salah.
early like
Okay, fair
Barkley
enough.
days. Okay, maybe Salah,
Salah.
yeah.
That's the closest you've got. That's the closest you've got. Everyone else is kind of shit. Like Bowen, I see even Bowen. Bowen is not even. What's it? Pace and power. Bowen's fast. I want it. No, Eze's not really pace and power. Eze's not even really a winger either. To be honest,
Like he's more of a number 10.
like he's a good like retainer of the ball. And obviously, yeah, Mellon was reacting to the Wayne Shaw comparison there. Hazard versus Rice over and over again. If V versus you, bro, nah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that. You're probably good. I ain't played football in a bit, but I'll hold myself together. I ain't even saying I'm not good. I'm not. But 1v1 defending, I'm all right. I'm sorry, 1v1 defending is very simple. Eye on the ball. Keep your eye on the ball. Defending's that simple. Eye on the ball. I was weaker.
For me, if it's one of two things, if you're defending 1-on-1, keep your eye on the ball, one, and two, if you know what foot they are, try
Oh
and push
yeah.
them into their weaker foot.
Oh yeah. People don't like their weaker foot. People don't like it.
If you force someone onto their weaker foot, they're going to be in trouble.
Man called me GVO Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Do you know what? I'm like, do you know what? I'll take that. I'll
Yeah,
take that. I can't slide like him though. I'm a standing tackler. Like you ain't getting past me.
you can't do the scoop tackle like Aaron Wan-Bissaka, man.
No. But I've got recovery pace. I'm a pace merchant. I'm not rapid, but pace is my game. Eye on the ball. So I'm like a retarded Wan-Bissaka Kyle Walker. That's what I am.
So you reckon? So if you're chasing me, you reckon you're catching me?
I'm good, bro. Look, yeah, with pace. And also, if you're on the ball, you're naturally slower. You're concentrating on the ball. I've not got the ball. I'm running straight to you.
All it takes is for me to drop one shoulder. All it takes for me to drop a shoulder, and you're
got
gone.
eye on the ball, bro. I'm not looking at your shoulder. I'm looking at the ball. I've got the ball.
Don't even need to look at my shoulder. All I can do is just drop it.
This is the thing. People don't beat me 1v1 because I'm already back there. I'm already back there to the place. I'm already back there, street foot. I ain't even played football in a while. I'll back myself 1v1 defending. Everything else, cool. Like, I think you two are probably better. Like, you and Mellon are probably better footballers.
We might need to do a football video in the future. We might have to do one.
I've got, you know them like awful players that just hit a decent long shot now and then. I'm one of them. I can hit a long shot. If you put it on a plate for me, I'll sky it. Like I'll say how it is. I'll sky it, bro. Yeah, I know Eze can play on the wing, but he's not a winger. No way how you are fast. I'm decent. Victor Moses in his prime, bro, had one season prime and was the worst player in the world. Joy is Victor Moses at West Ham could have been something as well in that when he was on loan with us. He was on loan with us for a bit. But we're gonna move on. We haven't talked about another team in a while. But we've got to talk about the other Manchester team. Oh boy. Let's start with this. They were hit with mice and mice infestation. Food hygiene
Jerry's running wild.
in 3 places and reduced rating issue to 2. Issue thanks to railway line, canal, and weather. Like what the fuck
bollocks. Oh bollocks.
You're mad techie with 0 pace.
I've got pace, man. I just said I can run. I can bust the gut if I need to.
But you said you're fat though, right?
I'm a fat man with pace. What can I say? I'm a freak of nature.
But this is the thing. Fat man with pace still can't beat us at like a non-fat man with pace.
Well, I mean,
That's an
in that
English
case,
chunks.
you prick!
Ah,
You prick!
oh, chunks on
Nah,
Fabio at Old Trafford is killing me. I feel like you're the power league man.
you feel like I'm a power league man.
You're like a Hall of Fame power leaguer. That's not a bad thing.
You can't even call me the English chunks because if I was taking that penalty at Old Trafford, I'd have put it away.
I'm alright at penalties. I'm alright at penalties. No, fuck off. Get the fuck out of here.
No!
Fuck off, Charlie, bruv.
Oh man.
Man, this fucking hospital merchant wants to chat. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Hospital merchant.
The ceiling started leaking during the press conference too. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I correct that. Correct that, because you just typed something. I know you didn't mean to type that. You typed something mad there. I can't even read that out. I reckon we might win it. Shouts to Ryan. Bruv, you're probably Ryan. I rate you, yeah. You're one of the biggest trolls ever, yeah. You were in my fucking messages saying Chelsea are gonna win the league, Arsenal are gonna win the league. And before that in the group, you're like, man, City are gonna win the league. Bruv, I wonder why I didn't hear from you for a while when Chelsea and Arsenal were dropping points. Now Liverpool are gonna win it. Bruv, do your thing, man. Do your thing. Man called me name. Oh my days. Yeah, bro. But no, Joy is
Oh
don't call yourself Neymar, by the way.
no, Charlie just took the piss.
Do you shug your relatives? You don't. Don't call yourself Neymar. Don't call yourself Neymar, bro. Man said, yeah, boy, it's your young.
Yeah, man, it's your boy, young Mikey. No.
Fucking hell, man. Man said Hazard. What, you're fat as fuck.
Does that make me Nasri?
Oh yeah, do you get hacked and cheat on your wife or something like you cheated?
No. But I think that someone said it, yeah. Hazard's Nasri's in great shape. Someone said it. Not me in it, but
That's it. If he's in great shape, what is Fernando Torres from? Like, I never want to be compared. Don't ever compare me to Philly, bro. That man got another charge the other day. Caught a driving charge in Australia. He's got
bro
a year.
Bro just wants jail now at this point.
I said Neymar because he has an alcohol problem too.
No, you're more like George Best then, isn't it?
Oh my god! Well, I'm dead. Well, Mellon's dead then.
He almost was.
Oh my god! Nearly killed himself on stream. Crazy. Nasri post football is funny. He turned into the football. But back
No,
on to Man United. God.
Rooney turned into the football.
Oh, Rooney is the football.
Yeah.
Back on to Man United. Yeah, 3-0 to Bournemouth back-to-back years, bro. And this is the thing. I know, Charlie, you said about Amorim, yeah. Like, bro, he's only just got here. Like, for me, it's these players, man. Bruno Fernandes. Like, Marcus Rashford's got to be the start of the big rebuild coming. Him leaving, it's got to be the start. He's got to be the example. You've got to make an example out of the players at your club. Rashford's got to be first. Bruno Fernandes, Garnacho. Bro, these players stink. Oh, Anthony, yeah. These players stink. Martinez is like, oh my god. Oh my god. This guy, he can't defend in wide areas. He can't defend even in the box. So what is he good at?
That performance against Man City from Martinez was just a lie. It was a lie.
Oh yeah, because he hasn't been performing like that all season anyway. Like, he got dunked on against Forest. He's been dunked on again. Xerxes was a marking his man for one of the goals as well. Bro, how many times are we going to go with this? Man United players, year in, year out. Different manager. I know Ten Hag was a problem. Don't get me wrong, but like with Amorim now, bro, if he doesn't get his players, he's another victim.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, at the end of the day, Manchester United fans are getting exactly what they deserve because they're the ones that seem to think that, oh, we're going to get a new manager. It's going to be a quick fix. How many
Mm,
times have we said that?
yeah.
How many times have you heard Manchester United fans go, back when Ten Hag first signed, oh, yeah, we're going to be challenging for the league now. We got Ten Hag. We got slapped
Mm.
up by Brentford in your first 3 games.
Oh yeah. And then he went. And Joe's mad even with the difference. Like, what I see is two different problems for me because even in that game, that's when he decided to not play football anymore after 2 games. Uh, Ten Hag, he decided I don't want to play this Ajax style of play, even though you didn't get your players in the first place. So what you tried to persist with, which was already the end for Ten Hag 2 games in hindsight, with Amorim, he has to stick with his formation and style of play because then you get to see who is good enough for this, who in this club is good enough, who is going to get you to where you need to take Man United, and what positions do you need. He's kind of just got to play them into shit until January, which is why I've written the season off for Man United because they ain't getting top 6. I'll be very surprised if Manchester United get top 6.
I'd be surprised if they get top 10 the way they're playing.
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know where they're going to be. I don't know where they're going to be. They're definitely not getting top 6. I know that for sure. I can't see it. But don't get me wrong. Should Man United fans be like a Europa League in top 6? That's what we'd like from the rest of the season. I understand why they demand it, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I generally think some of these players are genuinely uncoachable. Like Bruno Fernandes is so uncoachable. This guy is not a good player. The guy, he plays with football like it's a grenade in his hand, bro. The guy's trying to get rid of it as soon as it's in his feet.
Playing hot potato.
Hot potato football. That's what they do. Like, and cool, the new signings, whatever, but bro, 3-0 back-to-back in 2 different years under 2 different managers. We've got to give credit to Bournemouth as well, yeah?
Fair
Because,
play Bournemouth, man. They're brilliant. They are
yeah,
a brilliant team.
bro, since their new ownership, yeah, in the end of 2022, where Gary O'Neill took over as caretaker, they've got Iraola in as coach. But think about the players they've signed.
Evan
Hoyson,
Nilsson.
Sabani,
Did they sign Kierkesh?
yeah, Kirkez, Clivert,
Semenyo?
yeah. They already had Cook and Christie's, and these were players that. Do you know what's great about a manager? If you can get the best out of existing players that have worked in the club, and then get players in that are yours, and make all of that work, you're a good coach. Cook and Christie weren't talked about before this, even though they were good players. But Cook and Christie are very good players. They are good players. And they're the pivot in midfield. Evan Nilsson, Semenyo, Clivert, Uwatara, like Semenyo, like Kirkez, Aarons, Hoyson, Zabani, Senesi. The only one is Kepa. That's it. The only one is Kepa. That decided you look at
And
the side.
it's not like this whole thing with Bournemouth is out of the ordinary either. Like we saw this when they first came up. I remember saying to a lot of my friends who were watching football at the time, I remember saying, I think Bournemouth are going to stay up this season. And they were like, what, are you mad? Newly promoted team, smallest stadium in the league. They're going straight back down. I said, no, just watch. Then the points started coming. They beat Chelsea. They beat Man United, both from set pieces. They went on to stay up that season. The second season after that, they finished ninth in the same season where they beat Liverpool in that 4-3. They're a good team. They deserve a lot more credit than they're getting.
Oh yeah, for sure. And also, let's be real with this year. Like with Iraola, he's overexceeded with what he has, even with being backed. Nobody expects Bournemouth to do anything. Nobody expects Bournemouth to do anything right now. That's a Bournemouth couldn't even beat West Ham.
This may be a what's it called?
A
I'm
rogue
trying to
shout.
find the word. Yeah, rogue shout. But I actually think Bournemouth might get Europe this season, Conference League. I could
Bro,
see that happening.
any form of Europe would be significant for their size of their club. And I would love it if they got Europe because they deserve it.
Europe at that sort of stadium would be crazy as well.
That would be brilliant. I would love to watch. I would love to watch European games in that stadium.
I'd personally make the trip down from South to Bournemouth just to watch them in Europe.
Bro, I do the same. I do the same. They deserve it, man. The way they run is incredible. The new owners are really good. Like the
Big
director.
up Adonis Creed.
What?
Big up Adonis Creed. Michael B. Jordan. He's part of that team.
Oh, yeah, bro. He can name you 2 Bournemouth players. I guarantee he doesn't even. He thinks probably a Semenyo is like a pasta or some shit, man. Like he doesn't know any of these Bournemouth players, man. I've really turned into the famous grannies. Crackheads on the Miss Worlds of Dagenham G. Play Master Splinter again. Can't make 2 of what you have. This guy, bro. This guy. But I said, no, Arsenal gonna get Conference League.
I'd take Conference League because then we'd actually get a fucking trophy.
You'd find a way to not win that.
Yeah, we'd find. Yeah, knowing us, we'd find a way to bottle that as well.
You got Arteta, lad. He'll play. Saka will be playing on stilts, trying to like 1v1 like some Polish rubber like inflator, bruv. Like, bro, it's just that's the kind of thing. That's what Arsenal do, though.
Yeah.
So there you go. With Man United, bro, you gotta hold that. You got Wolves next. Wolves just beat 3-0. You gotta go to Molyneux. You can't get away with, nicking a 4-3 like last year. Like they did at Molyneux last season.
Yeah, could be Manu, wasn't it?
Yeah, it could be longer book today. It was Kobe Manu, yeah, right at the end. Could be long. Ruben Amorim, man. And listen, Ruben Amorim is going to lose his hairline. I can already see it. I can already see it depleting. He's going to lose his hairline at that club. Everyone does it. Ten Hag looked even balder than he already did. Like, only proper teams got down. Not yet, exactly. Only proper teams got a Conference League. I will say that until Chelsea win it. They would do trust the process in the Conference League. Trust the process, man. We beat Astana and all that. Like, bro, do you know what's funny? Fiorentina are like the Tottenham of the Conference League. They lost 2 finals in a row. That is hilarious. I'm sorry. Back-to-back finals is hilarious. Like, how can you go back to I was so happy when they lost it again. Fucking scum. But look, they tried time wasting to fuck when they played us, bruv. They would but the West Ham fans were throwing stuff.
It doesn't matter. You beat them, man. You beat them.
Yeah.
Just leave it at that.
Keep dunking on them, bruv. Keep that. Do you think it's once I become your hater, I won't stop becoming your hater ever?
Fair enough.
Why do you think I still don't like Crystal Palace? There you go. Speaking of shit teams, Tottenham. Tottenham lost as well. Tottenham lost at home.
Fucking
6-3.
hell. 6-3. Damn.
Bruv. How long do you think Ange's got?
Well, he's under pressure, isn't he? I mean,
Yeah.
He's the one that came out and said that he always wins in his second season. Worst thing he could have said, especially if you're coaching a team like Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's now put himself in a position where if he doesn't get results and he doesn't get at least a trophy, he's out the door. And think about who they've got. They've got Liverpool in the Cup semi-final. Liverpool are probably going to win that.
Yep.
At least if there isn't a shock against Tamworth in the FA Cup, they'll probably make quarters at best. Yep. And Europa League's a myth. They ain't going to win that. There's bigger teams in the Europa League that can win that. And they're nowhere near winning the league. So I think he's got until the end of the season to give the hierarchy at Spurs a reason to keep him. Because it's not looking good at the moment, Rev.
But does Daniel Levy even care about trophies like that for him to be?
No, he don't care. He just cares about money.
But he was caught smiling in the stands. And this is what Ange said. I think I've been really patient over the last 18 months sitting up here answering the same questions over and over again. If people want me to change my approach, it's not going to change. We are doing it for a reason. We are doing it because we think it will help us to be successful. If people don't understand the circumstances we are in at the moment, the challenges we have from a squad perspective, which is as obvious as you want to make them, I get the idea that people think I should flip a switch and change it somehow that will miraculously make us a better team. It is what it is. I'm just going to continue stay focused on trying to build this team to be where we want. In the interim, we are going to have to accept there are going to be challenges along the way. I get what you mean to an extent. Here's what I get, yeah? And there's a lot of debate all the time about style of play. I think he should stick to what he has, but he needs to tweak it a little bit. Not in terms of like his whole like regime of style of play. I mean, in terms of just tactical tweaks within the game, adjusting the game a little bit. I'm not saying become a pragmatic manager or anything. But what I will say is we always go at managers for not sticking to their style of play once they go to a new club. But the difference is Those managers fail because they've been backed and then they change their style of play. This manager has not been backed. They spend like shit. The thing is, Ange Postecoglou should still be criticised. Don't get me wrong, he should. But upstairs, that bald man upstairs, bro, he's the real problem. He's been the real
That's
problem for
where
years.
that's where the main brunt of the criticism needs to be directed at
Yeah, for
Daniel
sure.
Levy. Fair enough, he's got them into a brilliant position. They're a top six club. They are consistent. They've been consistently in Europe over the past few seasons. They've got a massive, brilliant new stadium, but they haven't spent money in the windows to improve on the players that they've already got. Not only that, I don't think they've replaced Kane in the right way. Yes, they've got Solanke, but it's going to
Mm.
take him at least a year to even start putting up the numbers that Kane put up year in, year out. I mean, fair enough, Solanke's Premier League proven, but we're not talking about Harry Kane levels of striker here. We're talking about a Dominic Solanke,
Mm.
the
He's
man rejected by
Australian.
Chelsea and Liverpool.
Charlie's like, he's Australian, they're fucking bozos. I should know, I'm married to one. She's a fucking bozo too.
I'm sure she'd be happy to hear you say that, Charlie.
She probably ain't watching. She probably ain't watching. Probably
Knowing
doesn't matter.
Charlie, knowing Charlie's probably going to fucking tell her after the stream ends.
Probably just tell her you're a fucking bozo. Tottenham got Bonnie Blue and Lily Phillips as their DMs. Getting run through.
You could already see that there was going to be an embarrassment on the cards when that Liverpool game was coming up. Because how in a cup quarter final do you go 3-1 up, 3-0 up, and almost bottle it?
Mm. Facts. But this is also the thing as well. Even with the Solanke thing, Solanke's never going to get the service that Kane got at Tottenham. He had
'Cause-
Dele Alli, as human son, great partnership and stuff like that, and he made goals for himself.
And
Solanke ain't that player.
the thing is now, yes, Solanke's got Son as a teammate, but it ain't the same Son. It
It's not.
hasn't been for at least 2 seasons now, maybe even longer.
And even then, he may have like Son and Kulusevski, but he's also got Brennan Johnson, Timo Werner around him. He's like, look at the players you're relying on. That midfield
Need
is
you
shit
say
as
more?
well.
Need you say more?
Yeah, need to say more exactly. This is the thing with Tottenham, yeah. Nothing's going to change. Nothing will ever change. We're in the same. I'm going to repeat myself for the last time. It's a 2-year cycle. Ever since Pochettino left, a new manager comes in. You overhype them for no reason, based on nothing. They get backed in their first transfer window. Then you go on a bit of a run. People think, oh, they're going to challenge for a title race. They fall off. And then the next season, it becomes a media circus where their style of play comes into play. They don't get back to their second season and everything becomes stale. It's the same thing happened with Jose and the same thing happened with Conte. It's the same thing happening with Ange. The exact same thing. It's going to carry on like this as well. Even if they sack Ange, I don't know who they're going to get because I don't know what your ambitions are. I don't know what you're trying to do as a club. I don't know what your goals are. But even then, do you know with the stadium thing as well? Daniel Levy may have got them a new stadium, but we always talk about this with Arsenal and West Ham as well. Do you know when your owners bring you to a new stadium, they give you promises as well, like we're going to be this club, we're going to try and challenge for this. Like with your owners, it was we're trying to be Bayern Munich and Real Madrid and all that. With
Yeah,
our owners, it was to try to take the club to the next level. But what did Tottenham rebuild their stadium for, other than money? Like, what is that stadium for exactly? Why are Tottenham in that stadium?
because they
In
they
terms of
don't they don't just use that stadium for the football as well. There's been multiple boxing fights at that stadium.
Travis Scott concert, Wizkid concert,
Travis,
Burna
yeah,
Boy concert,
exactly,
like
exactly.
Beyonce, whatever, like whoever, Red Hot Chili Peppers, it could be anyone, bruv.
It's just a multi-use arena at this point.
Yeah, it's just there for vibes. It legit there's for vibes. I'll catch a kiss if you want to throw. Such a fool, Charlie. Such a maybe you're Philly, fam. You could just Charlie in a cell with Philly. I mean, he's more local to you than me right now. He's just stuck in Australia with a driving ban. They can have a good Beyonce concert. Exactly. That's it. That's it. Like, bro, you get to see Travis Scott. I might generally, if there's an artist that performs in that stadium, I might go there for vibes and just say it's good to use your stadium just for vibes, fam. Like, it's good to use your stadium for other
Knowing
uses.
me, knowing me, I'd rock up to that stadium for a concert wearing my Arsenal shirt just to piss everyone off.
There probably won't even be. There probably won't even be any Tottenham fans there.
Knowing the
No, no.
stewards, they probably don't even care. They're just there to get a paycheck.
My team Benson left too. I did not need to know that.
Beckham?
Fuck's sake. Oh, fuck's sake. No, that's wild.
Nah, nah, more like David Bentley.
Oh, yeah, fucking hell. I just celebrating top four, pouring champagne on Harry Redknapp's head.
And then getting sold the minute after.
Yep, that's David Bentley for you. Oh my days. That's Tottenham for you. Liverpool, they won again. They won again,
Yeah.
and they were efficient. Salah, Diaz, Gakpo, Sabozalai. Even Sabozalai was good. Jesus Christ.
McAllister.
McAllister, Gravenberch again. Trent with that ball for Diaz's goal. Was it? I think it was Diaz's goal. They're ridiculous. Are they going to win? They're going to win the league, right?
It's theirs to lose. It's theirs to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Only they can fuck up their season now. Because right now
Yeah.
they're running away with it. It's like
How far do you think
1920
they
all
could go?
over again.
How far do you
Sorry,
think
what
they
was
could
that?
go in like the long term, like with all competitions?
I think it's too early to tell. I mean, fair enough, they're doing well in the Champions League as well. They qualified for the knockout stages of that. They're
Yeah.
still in all the cups.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's going to come down, especially with the amount of games that you're looking at. It's going to come down to game management, player management.
Mm.
Just basically for them, just don't do what Arteta does and run your players into the ground.
Yeah.
But for me, the league is theirs. All it takes for it not to be theirs is for them to slip up drastically, and I
Mm-hmm.
can't see them doing that the way they're playing now.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like another thing they need to get sorted if they're looking at long term success as well, they need to get a lot of those contracts sorted. Like
Mm.
there's still things up in the air about Trent's contract not being signed, Salah's contract not being signed. I feel like you need to get those sorted quickly. You're either
Mm-hmm.
keeping them or you're fucking them off. Simple as that.
I think
You
Trent's
don't
going.
need wait what to Madrid.
Yeah, I think Trent's gone. Anyway, he would have signed by now. I think with Salah, there's obviously that debate between Saudi. Van Dijk and
Mm.
Alisson are definitely going to sign. But I feel like Trent's gone. I feel like this
Yeah.
is his last hoorah. I feel like he's trying really hard to like go out on a high.
Not only that, it's him playing well is also going to raise his price tag, which means Liverpool are going to get a lot more for him from Real. Although, in fact,
There's
they won't even get anything because
yeah,
it'll be
yeah,
on a
he's on
free.
6 months. He's on
It'll
six
be
months
on a
left.
free, yeah.
Yeah, they're just gonna Mbappe them. Just do the Mbappe thing. You know who's next though after Trent
Who?
for Real Madrid?
Oh, yeah.
Yep,
They want Saliba.
they need a centre back.
They want Saliba. And my message to William Saliba, if he's watching this, keep dropping stinkers, man. Just keep dropping stinkers.
What? That just sabotaged your own club.
I don't care. Keep him at the club. Fair enough. He had a poor performance on the on Saturday against Palace, getting bodied
Mm,
by Sarr. That was not something that pleased me watching. But
mm,
you need, if you're looking at centre back pairings, you need Gabriel and Saliba together because if you got one out of the team, the other one just looks lost.
mm. I don't think they're gonna go but get both Saliba and Gabriel, but definitely Saliba. And then Gabriel will go back to how he was before Saliba.
Yeah, just
But
bonsai, fucking yeah,
say bonsai.
yeah.
I'm calling him a bonsai tree. But obviously, we basically talked about the games that were important on the weekend. Boxing Day now. Boxing Day. Obviously, Merry Christmas, motherfuckers. But we've got
Merry
Boxing Day
Christmas, you
fixtures.
filthy animals.
We've got Boxing Day fixtures. So quick little predictions. Man City Everton.
I'd say I'm gonna go with a draw for that one.
Yeah. I'm gonna go 0-0. Just because Everton
Yeah,
have drawn 0-0 with everyone. They've drawn 0-0
yeah.
with us. They've drawn 0-0 with you. They've drawn 0-0 with Chelsea. They've drawn 0-0 with Newcastle.
They probably would have drew 0-0 with Liverpool.
Probably. I think 0-0. I think after then City might go on a few wins, but not Everton. Just because Everton are a good side, but they're just Everton fam.
Yeah.
Newcastle Villa. I can't lie. If I wasn't doing Southampton West Ham, that would be the game to watch.
Mm.
Like Newcastle Villa. I'm saying 3-1 Newcastle.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's just one of them games where Villa won't turn up and Newcastle will. Just that Newcastle press, fans behind it.
I mean, we had that last season as well. Literally, started last season, they slapped Villa 5-1.
Yep, I was about to say that.
But yeah, I'd agree. I'd go with Newcastle on that one. I was going to probably say 2-0, maybe 2-1, but
Yeah,
Newcastle to win overall.
Forest Tottenham. That's a good game as
Forest,
well. That's a good
Forest,
game.
Forest.
I agree. I think 3-1 Forest.
I think Tottenham score first and then shit the bed, like they always
Yeah,
do.
yeah. It's one of them ones where Tottenham always score goals, but oh boy, that defense and that football with Forest hitting on the counter. Yeah, Elanga, Hudson-Odoi, Chris Wood, Ola Aina as well. Ola Aina's having a brilliant season. Like their defense as well. Milenkovic and Murillo and Morato, even Alex Moreno, Nico Williams contributing. Everyone's doing well. Morgan Gibbs White on the counter. Like this guy is probably he's probably one of my favorite players to watch right now. I can't lie. He's been so good for Forest. But I'll be cheering for you. But man hates Forest that much. They be cheering for you. You're a fucking I know your family's a hot Forest, but you're a disgrace for cheering on for Spurs. Absolute disgrace, Charlie. But no, I hear you. But I think Forest, I think Forest get over the line. It's Spurs 1-1, 4-1 Spurs. Bournemouth Palace.
Bournemouth.
Yeah, Bournemouth.
I just, I'd say 3 or 4-0. I see him steamrolling them.
Fair. I see they beat them last season there as well. I think 2-1. I think Bournemouth will dominate. I just don't think they'll score as many as they actually create because sometimes they just don't do that, even though they look more like the comfortable team. Chelsea Fulham. Another decent game. Honestly, these are good games.
Sport for choice.
Yeah. I've got to watch West Ham, unfortunately, over all these games. We're the worst game. We're by far the worst game on the 3 o'clock list. Why have I got to watch my team? Anyway, Chelsea Fulham. I think Chelsea will win that. Fulham are a good team. But Chelsea just get over the line, I think. 2-1.
Yeah. I feel Chelsea. Yes, Fulham will put them under pressure because that's the way Fulham play. They like to put the big teams under pressure. They did it to us, but I feel like Chelsea will have a bit too much for them.
Yeah. Southampton, West Ham. Do you know what,
West Ham.
even though we're shit, Southampton are even worse. I'm going to obviously preview the game tomorrow, but I'll go 2-0. I'll go 2-0.
Yeah.
We got more individual quality. Like we'll still win that game. Southampton are dog. I know they got a new manager, but they're still dog shit, man. I watched them against Fulham. They can't score a goal.
I don't even think the new manager bounce is going to save them.
That's a 2-1 Southampton. Even I
So
didn't
now he's
predict a
turning
loss.
his own team.
Even I didn't predict I always predict a loss. Even I don't think we're going to lose. Barring late a 1-0 late winner Irons. If we had scraped a late win against Southampton and it's just going to paper over the cracks.
I think because Mellon's just said Irons, I think you might have to return the favour and give him a up the Chelsea. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd rather kill myself. Wolves Manchester United.
Wolves.
Yeah, I think Wolves 2-0. 2-0 Wolves. Bro, they're not going to score again. That Wolves are going to run them over at Molyneux, man. It's his first game at Molyneux, that Vitor Pereira guy. So we'll see in it. I don't think this going to. Don't get me wrong. I don't think Wolves are going to like survive relegation, in my opinion. But I think this is the new manager bounce that way, and it's just perfect. It's just perfect to face Manchester United at this current moment in time. Unless I think it might be between Wolves and Leicester for the last one, for the last spot. But I think Ipswich and Southampton are gone. So there's that as well. Liverpool, Leicester.
I think this is obvious.
What, Leicester, yeah?
No. Liverpool, 3-0.
Yeah.
3-0.
Leicester have been raw dogged by Newcastle Wolves twice in a row. So I think like 4-0 Liverpool, some shit. And listen, I thought like, again, the Leicester just need to get a couple defenders in. I think they'll be fine because Vestergaard and Conor Cody. Oh my god. Brighton, Brentford. Oh, that's not a bad game.
Ooh, that'll be a tough one to call. I'm gonna go 1-0. I feel like that'll be a really tight game.
Someone clipped Alfie saying, "Yeah, do you know what? If only
I
Prime
was
was
trying,
here."
I was trying to get Mike's to say it.
Yeah, I'm not that fucking stupid. I'm never gonna say it. I don't even read it out when people put it in the comments. My days. But Leicester 2-0, 2-0, Liverpool quarter Leicester 3-2 Brentford. I think Brentford don't win away. They need to win away eventually. I think this will be a draw. It'll be a quite
Yeah,
entertaining game. I think 2-2. I think I'm gonna watch this over your game because you're gonna beat Ipswich. I think you'll beat Ipswich
yeah.
like 4-5-0, even without Saka.
I
They're
was
just
gonna
so
say,
naive in defence.
I was gonna say 2-0 to be honest,
Fair,
because
fair.
I know what we're like in terms of scoring goals from open play.
Mm.
Um, but I also don't back Ipswich to give us many troubles because they at the moment they're getting goals, but they just can't seem to see games out.
Also, they're playing out from the back very naively. I just think Arsenal, if they're on it with the press, the way Jesus will probably score a couple goals again. I think in that game.
Do you think that was the idea when it comes to Ipswich, especially like getting promoted,
Mm,
boosting their squad, bolstering it, making it a bit stronger, knowing full well that they're probably going to go down
mm.
to prepare for the push to go back up.
Yeah,
So they've got
I think
that experience.
I think so. I don't think they'd like. Obviously I don't think they had the thing in the back of their head that they knew they was going down. But I think they're gonna obviously try their best to stay up. But they've got all the best players from the championship, and a lot of these players, apart from Delap might even stay still, because unless as much as Delap's making waves, he isn't ready yet for the level of. He's ready for the Premier League, but he's not ready for like a top six club yet. I think he should take the. I think he unless say Duran wasn't at Villa already, he should be the understudy to Watkins. He should try and go Newcastle. He should try and go to us. I'd take him, but or not as a starter. I don't think he should be a starter as yet. I think he should be a squad player for like a club that should be trying to be just under the big six. Even at
Yeah,
Brentford, I'd like to see him at Brentford. I think he'd do superb at Brentford. The thing is, Liam Delap to Chelsea in the summer would make sense here, obviously, because you've got Jackson, but I don't think he's ready. I just don't think he's ready. Don't think he goes to the winter. I don't think he goes to the winter. He can't go in the winter. They're fucked. They only just signed him. But even in the summer, when they get relegated, there's not a lot of Ipswich players that are going to leave. Jacob Greaves will have to stay. Jack Clark will have to stay. Schmodix
same
will
with
have to stay.
Smodics. Yeah,
Hutchinson will have to stay. Hutchinson's a good player, though. I think he's in a couple of years, he'll get his big move. Um, Sam Morsey's obviously going to stay. Ben Johnson should retire. Calvin Phillips should retire. Um, that goalkeeper. Oh my god, he's dog shit as well. He was at Burnley last year. Like he's fucking shit, man. He should go as well. Um, Merry Christmas, though, boys. I hope Santa empties his. You're moving mad. You're moving mad,
pause,
Charlie.
man.
Moving mad, Charlie. Moving mad. Moving mad. But listen, it's been a great show. It's been a brilliant show, as always. But also, people, Alfie's League is in the title. He's like 9 away, I think, from
Yeah,
300.
yeah, yeah. We're 9 away from 300. Just need that final push to get
Mm,
there and get the year goal, and then we
mm.
push on next year for 4.
Yeah. Even then, I'm saying 500 next year for you. I'm saying 500
Yeah,
next year. Yeah, I'm saying 500 next year. 500's got to be the target, trust me. But you'll get there, trust me. But also, Alfie's going to have his preview with the Ipswich game as well, obviously coming up as well. But also,
yeah.
Alfie,
That'll
where can
come.
they find you?
That'll
What they
come
got?
out to. That'll come out tomorrow because I don't really want to be filming Christmas Day.
Yeah,
So,
of course. Yeah. Yeah, so what you got coming up and where can they find you?
coming up, obviously we've got the match preview and review for the Arsenal Ipswich game, and I've also decided that I'm going to do a midway season review on New Year's Eve. So make sure you guys tune into that.
Mm,
Put your notifications on. I'm going to try to go in depth on how we've done this season and where we can improve for the second half.
mm. But yeah, New Year's 300 subs. That's what we're saying. That's what we're saying. If we could get even then, at maximum, he's gonna hit in January. If he doesn't hit it in the new year, and then 500 in 2025. I didn't say
And
2026.
to answer your question as to where people can find me, it will be at AlfieD_YT on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. So make sure you drop me a follow. I'm
Brilliant.
pretty active on Twitter at the moment, ain't I, Mikes?
Yeah, yeah. Alfie's new on Twitter as well. So, bro, you need to use that Grok AI thing on Twitter. You'll have fun with that,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Yeah, big up to you though. Big up to you both though. My favorite show on YouTube. I appreciate that a lot. That's the best comment I've had all year. Fucking hell, best show. My
Charlie's
favorite show on
saying
YouTube.
something nice to me for a change.
Yeah, yeah. Give it a
Feels
minute though.
nice. Feels
Give it a
nice.
minute.
Just give me a moment.
Subbing on my alt account. Be right back. Yeah. Class. All right, people. Obviously, subscribe to Alfie in the title, people. We're gonna have the Southampton preview tomorrow. I've got Mike's Christmas special. It's just a little fun little video, and Boxing Day, I might have the watch along for the Southampton game. So we've got content all week. We've got the show at Prime on Thursday, and we should have Alfie and Melon back on Friday as well. So yeah, streams all week, people. Make sure to leave a like at GVR Mikes on all platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.